Good morning, juicing friends. Day 2 of the juicing challenge. I've just made my batch here and I'm ready to pour that out and get stuck into it. But I hope you're all doing really well, and it's been really great to see all your photos. Remember, 16 ounces if you can. So that's roughly 470 ml or just under 500 ml. I use my 500 ml juicing jug, so I'll probably drink all of that myself today. And I just wanted to take the opportunity today to quickly talk to you about the GAPS diet. A lot of people on this juicing challenge are already doing the GAPS diet and following that protocol, but a lot of you have an interest in it but don't know a lot about it. So I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about what kind of foods we avoid and what kind of foods we put in to follow the GAPS protocol, because it's not just a diet, it's a 3-part program. One is diet, which is all the nutrition, and the second part is supplementation. There's just a few little supplements that we need for our nutritional intake, and then there is reducing the toxic load, so avoiding chemicals in the environment and in your home, and just trying to keep yourself nice and clean and clear from all of those chemicals in the environment. So firstly, the foods that we avoid is all grains, and that includes things that are processed foods and so forth that contain ingredients that have grains in them. With GAPS, we try to have nothing that is processed. Everything is pretty much homemade. It's not that much of a challenge. It's an adjustment when you first start to eliminate the sorts of foods that were so easy to include in your diet, but these are the problem forming foods. Starchy vegetables as well is something that we need to avoid. And the reason why we avoid starchy vegetables and all grains, because they contain starch, is because all these starch, we have all this starch-loving bacteria in our guts, and the more we feed them, the more they get out of control. So this isn't necessarily the good bacteria that I'm talking about. This is the bad bacteria, and this is the bacteria that start to produce toxins in your gut, and that's what makes you sick, and what leads to disease further down the track. And that's where a lot of people come to the GAPS diet with a condition that they want to heal. So the GAPS diet is a healing and sealing diet protocol. Okay, so we also include, avoid things like dairy because of the lactose and the casein in that. And we're not designed to actually digest those proteins. They're very hard to digest. They get through the blood-brain barrier and they cause a lot of havoc in the brain. They cause a lot of havoc on the immune system. So they're sorts of things that we like to avoid as well. And then there's soy. We avoid soy and anything that's made from it. And we try to also include other really healthy foods, but there's one more important one is sugar. We avoid sugar and anything that's made from it, even molasses and things like that. We can have honey, but we definitely have to have sugar out of the diet. It's not that hard when you get used to it. Most people that stop taking sugar have withdrawals for about 3 months, but after 3 months, you stop feeding all that, the sugar-loving bacteria that create and feed things like candida, yeast overgrowth, which is really, really concerning. So we want to avoid all of those sorts of foods, and we want to include really healthy foods like soups and stocks and casseroles. These are going to heal and seal the gut lining and start to allow you to absorb food better. So whilst this is really good and it helps us for digestion right from the beginning, getting our stomach acid right, we need to make sure we're looking after all that our little microvilli inside the gut wall all the way through. Okay, so other foods like fermented vegetables and fermented dairy are okay. You can have yogurts, so long as they've been fermented for 24 hours. Yogurts that are bought in the stores aren't fermented that long, so they still contain lactose and casein. We want to remove lactose and casein, and fermenting it for 24 hours with a yogurt maker that has the capacity to do that will allow you to make a proper GAPS casein lactose free yogurt. So there's putting all the good foods in and avoiding all the bad foods, and it's a protocol that's usually aimed to follow for about 2 years and 2.5 years for general conditions, and then there are some more severe conditions where you need to follow it long term, or at least adopt or a lot of the principles to follow throughout your life. But following the GAPS protocol and the GAPS diet teaches you good nutrition for you to be able to follow it for the rest of your life. So that's something that you may want to be interested in. I just thought I'd touch base with you on that today for those that haven't been following the GAPS protocol or were interested in it. And I hope that you visit our GAPS Diet Australia website, where we've got a platform of information that explains this in more detail. We also have the support group here if you have any questions, and please feel free to ask me some questions. But in the meantime, I'll get back down to this juicing challenge and get stuck into my juice before my 20 minutes of enzymes are gone. And I would also like to remind you that if you take a photo of your juice and your gut biome together and you post it on Instagram and you tag, so you do the @ symbol, you tag Gut Biome Symbiotics and you tag GAPS Diet Australia, and then you hashtag our challenge, which is hashtag Gut Biome Challenge. So just pop that in there and that will give you 10 times more entries to be included to win this wonderful juicer. Okay, so all the best, and I hope you all have a good day with juicing day number 2. Okay, thank you.